Hello friends, in this lecture we will see two questions from the previous year series of scheduling chapter. Okay, so as you have already studied about the scheduling chapter in your theory class, so now we will take some previous year questions. So basically the questions are asked on a single machine or in more than one machine. Okay, so the question may be from the single machine, two machine, three machine, or more than three machines. Okay, and generally the questions are coming on shortest processing time rule and earliest due date rule. Okay, so this is the question number one, and this is the previous year get 4 marks question. Okay, you can see two questions are there. Question number in question number 4, in question number 1 we have got two questions, and each of these questions are of 2 marks. Okay, so we will read the question. Okay, it says that 4 jobs are to be processed on a single machine. Okay, so once again I am telling that this question is of single machine. Okay, similar types of question are asked on more than two machine or two machine. So the data is given as per the given data. So the first question saying that using earliest due date, in short it is EDD rule, find the number of jobs delayed. Okay, so you know the procedures. So we have to use earliest due date, that is EDD rule, to find the number of jobs which is delayed. And the second question says that using shortest processing time, that is SPT rule, find the total tardiness. Okay, total tardiness or lateness. Okay, both are same thing. Okay, total tardiness or total lateness, it means you have to find that what is the total lateness. Okay, and the 4 jobs are given. Okay, you can see the column 1 jobs, we have got 4 jobs, job 1, 2, 3 and 4. Processing time in days is given. For job 1 it is 4 days, for job 2 it is 7 days, for job 3 it is 2 days, and for job 4 it is 8 days. Due date in days is also given for each of those 4 jobs, 6, 9, 19 and 17. So first thing we have to use the earliest due date rule. Okay, so we will solve the question one by one. So the first question is saying using earliest due date rule, that is using EDD rule. Okay, using EDD rule. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to make a new table. Okay, we have to make a new table and we have to arrange the job on the basis of increasing order of their due date. Okay, you can see the due date table is given. Okay, so we have to arrange the job in increasing order of their due date because we are using earliest due date rule. Okay, so we will make the table once again. So it consists of jobs are there. The second table we have got here processing time, so I am writing it in short, that is it PT. Okay, PT for processing time. Now I am writing here DD means due date, DD means due date. And the third and the next table, a new table, we will be calculating job flow time. Okay, job flow time, in short it is also known as JFT. And the last column will consist of lateness or tardiness. Okay, the last column will consist of lateness or tardiness. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to arrange the job in increasing order of their due date. Okay, so see here we have to choose the smallest. So the smallest is 6, it is for job number 1. So we will write here job 1. The processing time for job 1 is 4 days. So we will write here 4. And the due date for job 1 is 6 days. So we write here 6. Now the next higher is 9. Okay, we are following the earliest due dates. That's why I am looking at the due date column only. It is for job number 2. The processing time is 7 and the due date is 9. Now for the third highest, it is 17. 17 is for job 4. Okay, the processing time is 8 and the due date is 17. Now our last job, that is job number 3. The processing time is 2 and the due date is 19. So we will write here 19. Now what we have to do? We have to calculate the job flow time, that is JFT. Okay, so how to calculate the job flow time? See here. The processing time for job 1 is 4 days. So the job 1 will go to the machine. Okay, we have got a single machine. So the job 1 will go to the machine at 0 day and it will take 4 days for its processing. So 0 plus 4, the JFT, yeah, job flow time is 4 days. Okay, now for job 2, the processing time is 7 days, but it will not go to the machine at 0 date. Okay, it has to wait for 4 days because we have got only one machine. So job 2 has to wait for the 4 days because for 4 days job 1 is being machined on the machine. Okay, so here the job flow time for second job will be 4 plus its processing time. It is going to be 11. Okay, now for job 4, the job 4, it has to wait for 11 days because the processing is already going. So it will wait for the 11 days plus the processing time is 8. So the total job flow time will be 19. Okay, now for job 3, it will wait for 19 days and the processing time is 2. So the total is 21. Okay, now we have to calculate the lateness or tardiness. Okay, that by how many days the jobs are being late. Okay, so what we have to do, just look here. The job flow time for job 1 is 4 days. Okay, and the due date is 6 days. So just consider is at date. Okay, just consider everything as date. So suppose that you have told the customer that please visit on the 6th of October for the job 1. Okay, so he will come on 6th of October and he will ask for job number 1. Okay, so will you be able to give him the job number 1? Yes, because you have completed the processing of job 1 on the 4th of October only. So the lateness is 0. Okay, because you have completed the processing of job 1 on 4th of October and the customer will ask on 6th of October. So the job is not delayed. Okay, so the lateness or tardiness is 0. Now for the second job, the customer will come on 9th of October and you are going to finish the processing on 11th of October. That means you are getting late by how many days? 2 days. That is 11 minus 9. You are getting late by how many days? 2 days. Okay, because you have already told the customer that visit on 9th of October, but you are completing the processing of the job on 11th of October. It means he will have to wait for the 2 days. It means you are late by 2 days. Now next, look here. You have told the customer that visit on 17th of October, but you are processing it on 19th of October. Again, you are late by 19 minus 17. You are late by 2 days. Here, you have told the customer to visit on 19th of October for the job number 3, but you are processing it on 21st of October. It means you are late by 21 minus 19. You are late by 2 days. Okay. So the question was, find the total number of jobs delayed. Okay, so how many jobs are delayed? For job 1, it is 0. Okay, the job 1 is not being delayed. So how many jobs are being delayed? 1, 2 and 3. So we can say that total number of jobs delayed, is 3. Okay, this 3 is the answer. Okay, these 3 is the answer, and you can also tell that the delayed jobs are 2, 4 and 3. Okay, 3 jobs are delayed and the delayed jobs are 2, 4 and 3. By how many days? By 2 days each. Okay, so this was our first part. Now we will move for the second part. Okay, now the second part, it says that use SPT rule, that is shortest processing time rule, and find the total tardiness or lateness. Okay, so what we will do, we will again make the same table. Okay, so again I am going to make the same table. The first one is jobs. Okay, we have got our jobs here. We will write the processing time, in short PT. We will write the due date. Okay, so these three things we know, so we will write them. First, now we have to use the SPT rule. Okay, now we have to use the SPT rule. It means we will arrange the jobs in increasing order of their processing time. So we will start from the smallest and we will move towards the largest processing time. Okay, because our rule is SPT rule, so we will look for the processing time. So the minimum processing time is for job number 3 and it is 2 days. So our first job is job number 3. The processing time is 2 days and the due date is 19 days. Okay, so we will write here. Now the next minimum is job number 1. The processing time is 4. Job number 1, the processing time is 4 and the due date is 6. Okay, now the next minimum is job number 2. The processing time is 7 and the due date is 9. And the last we have got job 4. The processing time is highest, that is 8 days and the due date is 17. Okay, now what we will do, we will calculate the JFT, that is job flow time. Okay, we will calculate the job flow time, and the last table we will calculate the tardiness or lateness. Tardiness or lateness, both things are same, so they are asking about the total tardiness. Okay, so look here, job flow time, how we are going to calculate? The processing time for the first job is 2 days and we have got only one machine, so it is 0 plus 2 days. Okay, now for job 1 it is taking 4 days, but it has to wait for the 2 days, so it will take 2 plus 4, 6 days. Okay, here for job number 2 it will wait for 6 days and the processing is taking 7, so the total job flow time is 13. Now for the last job, the waiting time is 13 days plus the processing time is 8, so it will take 21 days. Now the tardiness, look at the tardiness. Look here, we have told the customer that visit on 19th of October, but you have completed the job on 2nd of October, so the tardiness is 0. Okay, you are not being delayed for the job number 3. Now you have told the customer that visit on 6th of October and you are completing the work on 6th of October, so 6 minus 6 you will get 0 delayed. Okay, 0 lateness or tardiness. You have told the customer that visit on 9th of October and you are completing the work on 13th of October, so you are late by 4 days. You have told the customer for job number 4, you have told that visit on 17th of October and you are completing the work on 21st of October, so again you are late by 4 days. So they are asking total tardiness. Okay, so you can see here total tardiness is summation of 4 plus 4, that is 8. So total tardiness is 8 days. Okay, so this is our answer. This is our final answer. So the question are very simple. They are directly based on SPT rule and ADD rule, and you have to look whether the question is of one machine, 2 machines or more than 2 machines. For 2 machines or more than 2 machines, you have to apply the Johnson's rule. Okay, so this is the first question. Now we will take our second question. Okay, so the second question said that 6 jobs, okay, 6 jobs arrived in a sequence as given below. Okay, so we have now 6 jobs and it arrives in this sequence 1 2 3 4 5 and 6, and the processing time in days, the processing time in days of each of the 6 job is given. Okay, so what it is saying, find average job flow time using SPT rule again. Okay, so nothing is said, it means we have got 6 jobs on a single machine and we have to use the SPT rule and we have to find the average job flow time. So what we have to do, we have to arrange these jobs in increasing order of their processing time. Okay, according to the rule we have to go. So the rule is SPT rule, so we have to follow the shortest processing time rule. So what we will do, we will make the table once again. Okay, we will make the table once again. and in this table the first column will consist of jobs. Okay, the first column is going to consist of jobs, and the second column is going to consist of PT. PT means processing time, and the third column will consist of JFT. JFT means job flow time. Okay, so we will make the three columns, and now we will arrange the jobs in increasing order of their processing time. So we have to select the list. So the list is 4. It is for job 1. So job 1, the processing time is 4 days. So we will write here. Now the second list is 5. For job 3, we have got 5 days at the processing time. So we are following the SPT rule, that is shortest processing time rule. Now the list is 6. It is for job number 5. For job number 5, the processing time is 6 days. Now the list is 8. It is for job number 6. For job number 6, the processing time is 8 days. Now the shortest is 9. For job number 2. For job number 2, we have got 9 days. And the last one is job number 4. For job number 4, we have got 10 days. Okay. So we have arranged the jobs on the basis of their shortest processing time rule. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now we will calculate the job flow time. So you know the rule. What we are going to do? We have got job 1, the processing time is 4 days. So it will arrive on the machine 1 at 0 date and processing time is 4. So the total job flow time is 4 days. Okay. Now the next job is job number 3, and it will wait for the 4 days because the already processing is going on of the job number 1. So the waiting time is 4 days plus the processing time is 5. So the total job flow time is 9. Again, the waiting time is 9 and the processing time is 6. So it is 15. Now the waiting time is 15 and the processing time is 8. So the total job flow time is 23. Now the waiting time is 23 plus the processing time is 9. So the total job flow time, it is going to be 32. Okay. Now 32 plus 10, it is going to be 42. So what is this 42? This 42 is known as make span time. Okay. If they are asking find the make span time, so make span time, it is going to be 42 days. But this is not our answer. Okay, this is not our answer. Simply I am going to tell what we have to find. We have to find the average job flow time. Okay, we have to find the average job flow time. So the average job flow time is equals to total job flow time divided by total number of jobs. Okay, we have to find the total job flow time divided by total number of jobs. So the total job flow time is going to be the summation. Okay, the total job flow time is going to be the summation of 42, 32, 23, 15, 9 and 4. Okay, so this will give us the total job flow time, and just sum it. Okay, so we will get 125, I think. Okay, you will get 125. Okay, you will get 125. So average job flow time is 125 divided by total number of jobs. How many jobs? Here it is written 6 jobs. Okay, so we have got 6 jobs. So 125 by 6, we will get 20.83 days. Okay, 20.83 days. So this is our answer. Okay, this is our answer. Okay, so we can find 3 different things. If they are asking that what is the make span time, then 42 days is the answer. What is the total job flow time, then 125 days is the answer. What is the average job flow time, then 20.83 is the answer. And for this question they are asking average job flow time, so it is the total job flow time divided by total number of jobs. They can also ask the lateness, tardiness, how many jobs are delayed. Okay, find the total lateness. Okay, so everything you can calculate just like the previous year. So it was a GATE 2 marks question. Okay, it was a GATE 2 marks question. So this is all about scheduling question. We already solved 2 questions. Okay, so just go and practice these type of questions. Thank you.